Something.
Oh, you hear an echo?
I get an echo.
Check.
Still an echo.
Check. Is Leo from To The Point? Hey. Check. Hey, is still there. Check. Hey, what's up, guys?
It's To The
It's
Point.
boy Leo
Mike
from
Leo
To The
Hold on.
wins.
My name is Volodymyr Zelensky. You're probably wondering how I got here.
You are going to learn to be more professional, Luke. That's what you're going to do, Luke. What the hell was that? I had to do that. You this. Screw it. All right.
Yeah, these are all memes off Twitter.
Oh man, that's funny.
Episode 108 To The Point podcast with Mike, Leo, and Vince.
That's so
How's it
funny.
going, guys?
I just thought those were
That's
funny, and they were worth sharing. And why not throw them in the intro? Because there's so much to talk about, man. It's State of the Union night.
It is. It's good. It's good.
What's the matter?
Camera twice.
Oh, something happened with our cameras. Hold on.
But anyways, yeah, that
How you
was
doing,
good.
Leo?
Good, Vince, man. What's up, man? What you been up to lately?
Y'all can't see Leo right now, but I promise he's here.
He's here. Hold on. Let us.
I'm here
fix that.
spiritually.
There's not two mics.
Spiritually, I am here. But yeah, it's Zelensky, huh? What's up with Zelensky? Hey, there's me.
There we go.
Hey, what's up with Zelensky showing up at the Oval Office?
I mean, at
hey,
at
if
least-
they're gonna hand out money, I mean, I'll show up with suit and tie. Start handing out money this way.
I mean, at least Leo came wearing a suit and tie.
Hey, I'm prepared. I showed up. It might not be a full suit and tie, but hey, it looks
Why
like
so white today?
Hey, send money my way, Trump.
Yeah,
He's gonna hand out
this
money
is
that
my
way.
best. This is my funeral attire. That's the best I got. So it's State of the Union night.
Hey,
It's supposed to be. Trump said he is bringing the fire. What do you think he's going to bring?
a suit and tie.
Well, besides that, he's not going to be wearing a jumpsuit. But wouldn't that be funny?
Oh man,
Because he did say he didn't really have a problem with what Zelensky was wearing, but yet Zelensky was called out by a reporter
Right.
live during that debacle on C-SPAN,
I
whatever
wanted-
the-
there is
I
no
want-
meeting.
I
that
wanted
happened.
somebody to say, how many billions did we give you? You couldn't get a suit and tie for this?
Yeah.
Don't forget to visit our website, anyriverconnections.com. Some of the merchandise on there is going to be coming down, and we're going to be switching to an actual brick and mortar close to home. So check it out, and some of the merch won't be available. But either way, yeah, he made a fool out of himself. I mean, I get it. Like what the guy's wearing is not a big deal, but you're coming to America, to the most powerful nation in the world, to the Oval Office, and you're asking for more money. He's actually asking for more than that, because you heard him in speeches since, before he called back to apologize,
Right.
that Americans are going to die on the battlefield, and
No, he said something about you'll pay for this in the future or something like that.
yeah, Americans will pay for this on the battlefield.
On the battlefield. And
Yeah.
and Trump was like, whoa.
He took it as a
He's
threat.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
hey,
That's-
listen, don't be saying them
I
words
think
now.
that
He's
was
like,
the
"Don't be
point."
saying that."
You listen to those
Don't be
words
saying
word
that.
for word. What is that? How else are you supposed to take that?
He was like, hey, don't be saying that.
Yeah.
No. He's
I
like,
think
"Well,
that was the
don't take that
point
back."
where Trump was like, all right, let me step in. I don't know. JD Vance, really stepped up though. And he showed, I think this was all part of the plan. Like I knew that, everybody knows how we feel about, the right side feels about giving more money to Ukraine. And I
Right.
think the president was like, well, let's do this right out in the open. And everybody can see we're with them too. But if we do anything, it's going to be for America. And not to mention the deal Trump had for these people, the rare earth minerals in that region of the Ukraine, like super amounts of rare earth metals, not oil and gas, just rare earth materials. He was going to do a deal, but he knew, not the public, but Trump knew this guy had just signed a deal with France and Canada the day before. or 2 days before, not France and Canada. I think it was England and Canada. So there's a lot of shady shit going on in the back. And Trump was just like, let's put this out there. And that's why when he wrapped it up, he's like, all right, I think you've seen enough. It was pretty explosive. Before we get into that, I'm going to come back with that, but I want to shout out to our network sponsor, shopwithamerica.us, American made products. Go to the website, shopwithamerica.us, and put your name and stuff in there, your contact information, and they'll get back to you. And you'll have options for American made products not affected by tariffs. It's more, grassroots and homegrown American made. So
supporting your local area, keeping the money here, not sending it across seas, not sending the jobs across seas.
Right.
So before we get into the meat and potatoes, let's run our ad for Shop with America.
Welcome to Shop with America, where the emphasis is on America. Our movement is to switch away from your shopping with the big box stores and the mega corporations back to supporting family-owned, made in America. We've been giving these big box stores our money every day for years. But what's happened is they've forced many small businesses to shut down. We call this the illusion of choice. We see all these products in these stores, but in reality, it's only a few companies that control it all. There are thousands of lawsuits for health damage because they put profit over our people. But there is another choice. We found a better way. There's a family-owned American factory with product integrity and have always done things the right way for the right reasons. And this company outperforms the big box stores. That's due to their month-to-month shopping club. They make everyday consumer products that we all use and buy again and again, like toothpaste, shampoo, coffee, and organic beef. Go to shopwithamerica.us today.
Yeah, I'm interested in the beef. I need the meat.
Beef.
Need to fill the freezer. Shopwithamerica.us. Have you guys checked it out yet?
I've gone
Yeah.
through a few items.
I'm waiting
haven't
for some
ordered
stuff to
anything
come
yet,
through. So yeah, I'm interested to see what comes out of it. But they're supporting the network, the Patriots Prayer Network, and the podcast on it. So make sure you give them a look at and see what they got to offer you.
American
just check it out.
Patriots.
Check out
Yeah.
the website.
So back to the debacle. Let's play a little clip.
With both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal? That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question. Yeah, please.
Hey, I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and
Well,
2014.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was,
he
I was
killed.
not here.
Yeah, but,
That's exactly
but
right.
yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken the ceasefire. He killed.
So
people, and he
it's
didn't
gonna get on their
exchange
nerves real
prisoners. We
quick.
signed the
Good evening,
exchange
Buckeye.
prisoners,
Thanks for
but
joining
he
us.
didn't do
By the
it.
way, thanks Joanne for chiming in.
What kind of diplomacy?
Hopefully I fixed the
you
sound.
are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong,
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have
and
problems.
do you think that it's
I
respectful
will answer.
to come to the Oval Office of the United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war,
Yeah, so he goes on to keep arguing the fact in front of the media
But you know
to,
what,
to
Mike?
litigate for his country, to get more money, more arms, more money.
But you know what, though? This is what I see. I'm not seeing about what this guy's asking for. I'm not seeing nothing. What I am seeing is I am seeing our next president for the next 4 years line up right now.
This is his time, and that's what
Sorry to say it, but that is what I'm seeing right
Yeah.
now. That is what he is taking this thing under his wing. It seems like he's like, you know what, President? He's like, I got a question. Let me ask the question. So then he turned around and said, "Go for it, then. Show America what you
Yeah,
got."
he's
Well,
not
he
afraid.
felt
He's
offended.
not bound.
he
he's not
felt
bound down.
offended. And he said in other interviews that JD Vance said that, he felt the president was being very diplomatic and that the guy just kept on trying to mitigate this in front of the
Right.
media because that's what he does. He's a performer.
Right.
And I don't know what the hell was so damn loud, but
But no,
You
that
know,
was good.
so-
he
it went on. It got a little juicier.
yeah, it went on.
I'm not going to play the whole video because I've got an explainer, which goes along with what Truthful Troll had thrown out there, that it was actually global politics that America is guilty for. In my opinion, the more I hear about it, the more, you see. As a matter of fact, have you ever played the game of Risk?
Yeah.
I think Dale and Jim brought this up. Maybe it was a different show I watched, but somebody brought up the game of Risk, and it was like, you know what, this is a global war, a global game of empire, and whether
Right.
it's your borders or not,
It's a power,
proxy wars is a part of it.
it's a
Right.
constant power struggle. And that's
Y-
power is money, money is power. They go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Jeffrey
for sure.
Sachs, I can't remember what the hell this guy's known for, but he's known for advising presidents, I believe, and world nations. Here's an explainer. He lays it right out. And this is at the EU, I believe, which is kind of like a union of European countries.
Right.
They all submitted to this union, and it's like unelected bureaucracy to the 10th degree, and they all think they're in power because they control other leaders, and it's sick. And I can't believe these people even submitted to that. But Hungary is a top country. And they're a strong force for their sovereignty in the EU.
I
But
just can't believe they let him in again.
in this country,
Yeah. Like, why?
well,
Like, it's
after
just-
that meeting, as a matter of fact, he left. The deal was off. And I think Trump already knew the deal wasn't even going to happen because of the meeting with Canada and the guy from Great Britain or England. And so I think Trump knew the deal was already a bust, and he's out there and he knew that going into this presser, and he knew it was going to get a little heated. And I think he knew, like, hey, this is JD's time. I'm going to let him. I think if MAGA had any question about JD, that was JD's chance to
and
show
he
him.
showed he can take charge in a key situation like that. It was impressive. I mean,
at a young age too, boy.
At his age, he didn't shy away from it at all.
Ooh.
Joanne said, "Nice suit, Leo.
Hey.
Zelensky needs one of those."
Hey, I'm trying to get some
Right?
money over here, Joanne. So I'm just trying to get some money out towards my way.
What's the brand on Zelensky's suit, anyways? I bet you it's worth some money. But here's Jeffrey Sachs at the EU.
Putin's intention in the war, not the propaganda that's written about this. Oh, that they failed and he was going to take over Ukraine. The idea was to keep NATO, and what is NATO? It's the United States, off of Russia's border. No more, no less. When the Soviet Union ended in 1991, and an agreement was made that NATO will not move 1 inch eastward. Now, what happened after 1991, the United States decided there would be no end to eastward enlargement of NATO. And the decision was taken formally in 1994, when President Clinton signed off on NATO enlargement to the east, all the way to Ukraine and into Georgia. So the NATO enlargement, as you know, started in 1999 with Hungary, Poland, and the Czech Republic. And Russia was extremely unhappy about it, but these were countries still far from the border. So the next round of NATO enlargement came in 2004. With the 3 Baltic states, Romania, Bulgaria, Slovenia, and Slovakia. At this point, Russia was pretty damn upset.
I mean, let's say China puts a base just north of the border,
right?
In Canada, or just south of the border in Tijuana, or whatever's right over there on the other side of Texas. I'm not pro Russia. I'm not pro Ukraine either. I'm just pro, like, keep our money here and keep our business out of the game of risk over there.
I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna give these people money, that means I'm egging on the war. I'm accepting the whatever's going on. I just feel like just stay out of it. If we don't want nothing to do with it, let those people do whatever they want to do, because we got our own problems here.
For me, the only way it makes sense, the money that they've been throwing at Ukraine, it was just the Democrats laundering money. That's all.
And not just that, but wait a minute, man.
They need war to launder money.
This guy's not done.
And all this money they've been sitting over there, right? But yeah, we can't help all those people out in North Carolina, all those people out in California. Like, what's up with these people? These people that lost literally their homes, their whole entire savings that they had in their account or whatever, that can't get rebuilt. Like, what's going to happen to them? Where are they going to go?
Yeah.
Where are they going to rebuild? Where are they going to do, like, nothing? But yeah, we're worried about this guy. That's why I brought my suit. Let's go. Where's my money at?
70 or 80 protesters not downtown, but in Vero Beach today at a busy intersection protesting Doge. But yet, like you said, they can't take care of people at home, and they have no idea what USAID is, and that's what they have on there. That's what they're pissed about. Impeach Elon. Save USAID, and it's these people.
We didn't elect Elon.
I did. I mean, I knew what I was getting when I voted for Trump.
Right. Most people that voted for Trump were also voting for Eli. It's just
Elon. I always want to say richest Elon. Guy in the world.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's not God either. But I voted for that. I didn't vote for Elon. It's in a way matter. But for lack of better words, I knew what I was getting when I voted for Trump.
You knew he came with him.
And I'm glad he's following through on some of these promises. Let's not talk about the debacle with Pam Bondi. Let's finish with this guy's analysis and him lecturing the EU on why they're all involved in this.
So as everybody recalls, in 2007, President Putin said, stop, enough. And of course, what that meant was in 2008, the United States jammed down Europe's throat enlargement of NATO to Ukraine and to Georgia. This is right up against Russia. And Russia protested, because if Russia decided to have a military base on the Rio Grande or the Canadian border, not only would the United States freak out, we'd have war within about 10 minutes. And a month later, a war broke out. That gets Georgia destroyed. And starting in 2010, the U.S. put in Aegis missile systems in Poland and then in Romania. And Russia doesn't like that. In 2010, Viktor Yanukovych was elected on the platform of neutrality. Russia had no territorial interests or designs in Ukraine at all. What Russia was negotiating was a 25-year lease for Sevastopol Naval Base. That's it. Not for Crimea, not for the Donbass, nothing. In 2014, the U.S. worked actively to overthrow Yanukovych. Everybody knows the phone call by my Columbia University colleague, Victoria Nuland, and the U.S. Ambassador Peter Piot. Listen to it. It's fascinating.
I don't think Cleach should go into the government. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's a good idea. I think Yates is the guy who's got the economic experience, the governing experience, and, fuck the EU.
No, exactly. And I think we've got to do something to make.
You don't get better evidence. Then came Minsk, and especially Minsk II. It said there should be autonomy for the Russian-speaking regions in the east of Ukraine. It was supported unanimously by the UN Security Council. The United States and Ukraine decided it was not to be enforced. There were many thousands of deaths in the shelling by Ukraine in the Donbass. And one of the issues on the table in December 2021, January 2022, was, does the United States claim the right to put missile systems in Ukraine? And Blinken told Lavrov in January 2022, the United States reserves the right to put missile systems wherever it wants. So the war started. What was Putin's intention in the war? It was to force Zelensky to negotiate neutrality. And that happened within 7 days of the start of the invasion. Ukraine walked away unilaterally from a near agreement. Why? Because the United States told them to. The idea was that there would be Ukraine, Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey, and Georgia that would deprive Russia of any international status by blocking the Black Sea. And the American senators, who are as nasty and cynical and corrupt as imaginable, say this is wonderful expenditure of our money because no Americans are dying. It's the pure proxy war. And since the U.S. talked the negotiators away from the table, about 1 million Ukrainians have died or been severely.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, I'm sure that goes on, but and Thaddeus is right. Republicans and Democrats are in this together.
Yeah, for sure.
They voted to keep sending money to this country. The guy, they're running out of young adults to conscript. You know what conscript means? Draft. Like, you have no choice. You have to report for military duty to fight for your country. And there's video out there of them snatching dudes off the street.
Man,
there's video of
where's this at? Ukraine, right?
Ukraine. There's a video of guys with Down syndrome and foxholes, and it's freaking horrible, man. War is not pretty. We thought the ugliness of World War II and foxholes was gone with, but obviously not.
No.
But Zelensky would say, no, we're not getting our ass kicked that bad. Come see Ukraine, and that's what Vance called him out on. Is like, you do these parades, like you bring people in and you show them this and you show them that. You need more money because you're winning, but you're not.
Right.
It's an endless war. They're going to run out of generational support for their people. But what do we got? We owe Ukraine.
So what does
we
he do?
cause this BS, but we're demanding resources to get them peace.
So what does he do? So he rings.
I don't think we owe him anything. I think we just need to get the hell out of there, put an end to the war, and stop giving them our tax money. That's my opinion. I mean, I maybe leave it up to the American citizen. You want to send your tax dollars over there, you can sign it away when you do your
taxes,
your rebate. Like send my rebate over to Ukraine. But I'd like to keep it because it's mine. It's my money.
Yeah,
it is. It's
sure.
freaking crazy. It's World War, and it's the start. You don't see it yet, but even in the beginning, World War I and World War II, Europe was on fire. And Americans over here are like, oh, there's an ocean that separates us, which is true. But like, this is a backdoor thing. And all these countries in Europe are pumping money into Ukraine, into a losing battle for Ukraine. How much money are they going to spend on it?
Yeah.
You know, when there could have been peace already, but they won't let there be peace.
Right.
You know, Zelensky, when they go into martial law, they don't have to hold elections because, God forbid, the wrong guy gets elected. But
Right.
what if the right guy could be elected and put an end to the war? You know, I think it's a shitstorm. Europe is pretty bad, but there are a few leaders. I think there's a Polish leader. I know the Georgia Meloni from Italy. She's badass, and Viktor Orban, who is the prime minister of Hungary, which I work with a woman from Hungary, and you know, she's proud of her prime minister because he's out for Hungary first. You know, he's a friend and an ally of Trump, but he is, because he knows, you know, he's got to look out for his people first. Here is a short clip of Viktor Orban and Tucker.
It was a misunderstanding on their behalf, the real intention of the West. And they thought that the West will support them forever. And therefore, their behavior was not exactly as it would be seen as normal. Because if you are in trouble, you need help, you are going to somewhere to ask, it's not the right tone as they communicate with us. Anyway, so, but they thought that they can do so because the West will remain behind them forever. If you understand
This is Viktor Orban, the prime
history of
minister from Hungary.
politics, this is a
And
misconception.
he was speaking at a forum that Tucker
That's
was
not
at.
what
also.
the West ended in the last several years.
No.
No. So I was sure that sooner or later they will be let alone and say, guys, war is over, financial support is over, military support is over, let's make a deal, even if you have huge losses. This is the right moment. We would not like to risk a World War III. We would not like to risk a direct conflict with Russia on military fields. So my heart is with the Ukrainians, but they are in a big. I think those who love conspiracy theories are in trouble. They have to find new ones because the old one proved to be true. So that's the first probably.
It's a massive problem in the United States. Yeah.
The second is that it's a taxpayer money.
Yes.
So if you take it, this whole thing not as a political one, but rather as a moral issue. The fact is that the liberal elite of the West use the taxpayers' money of United States citizens to spread their ideology all around the world, and financed in Hungary more than 60 NGOs, paid politicians, media outlets. So it was a plot against our sovereignty and independence. Sorry, made by you.
I know.
Sorry, but this is the case, and the same has happened from the Brazilian budget, which is even more scandalous, may I say, because we pay the money in the Brazilian budget and they finance our enemies at home. So what's going on? So this is the liberal deep state. The global liberal deep state. And now we see how it has opened.
Last weekend, I had a meeting in a ski resort in the Alps, which is probably the most expensive town in the world. I was not there to ski, for the record. But the whole town is Ukrainian. All the visitors are Ukrainian. And they're rolling into Air Maze and dropping $1 million in an afternoon. All through Europe, you see this. The richest people are the Ukrainians. That money is ours. It belongs to me and you and every other American taxpayer. That's where it's going. Second fact, not guess, fact is the Ukrainian military is selling a huge percentage, up to half of the arms that we send them. Half. And I'm not guessing about this. I know that for a fact, not speculation. And a lot of us winding up with the drug cartels on our border. This is a crime, what's happening. Our intel agencies are fully aware of this. You tell me they're not profiting from this. Of course, you think the CIA is not profiting from this? Yes, they are. Can't prove that, but I believe that. What, they don't know this? I know this, but they don't know this? They know this. No one is saying it. Like, no American seems to
I thought I had a lot of
this.
caffeine
We're sending
tonight.
these arms to Ukraine, hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's being stolen and sold to our actual enemies. Like, what the?
I mean, like, what the? For real.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. This is crazy. The truth today, I said it earlier. This is crazy, Yeah, Obama created a war. he was the U.S. president, regardless of who you blame. Russia invaded because of American and NATO policy, which both Dems and Republicans. But you're absolutely right. I think we're in agreement here. I take no offense when you say Republicans, because the deep state are both of them. I think they're just actors in with a different role. Like put whatever you want on it. That's what we did with DEI. We're funding it around the world with USAID. Yeah, I would be like, if I was hungry, I'd be very pissed off if I found out USAID was funding transgender surgeries in my country, or biolabs capable of producing COVID-19 viruses.
And they could be doing something better,
Which is what supposedly was around the area of the Ukraine-Russian border. That is correct. Yeah.
And I don't take any offense to throwing the Republicans in there either, because let's face it, there's dirty politicians on the Republican side. I might feel like one side has more than the other, but I mean, it's been going on for decades. I mean, we've got dirty politicians on the Republican side too, and that's what we need to fix.
Yeah. Before I do another break, I've got another video of another European leader, I think, that deserves recognition here in the U.S. because you don't see much of them. You see Trudeau from Canada. He's whatever. He's beta male. The woman from Mexico is more alpha than he is. And I don't know her name, but you know what? The people leave an impression on you. Yeah. And I heard today Macron supposedly is not only married to a man, but there's rumor around Europe that it's actually his father that is transgender. I think it's a little crazy, but yeah.
Whatever.
Here is Georgia Melanie.
Meloni, I am 45 years old and I am the president of Fratelli d'Italia, the political party of Italian conservatives. Governments have not been the outcome of what the citizen chose by voting, but rather have been the outcome of agreements, often under the table, between the same parties that were fighting each other in the electoral campaign. In these 10 years, the left, which has failed to win elections in Italy since as far back as 2006, has managed to stay in government.
She might be one of his,
time.
Maybe she's actually one of his droids.
Those who lose elections should go to opposition.
She was the one who was like, hey, Joe, over here.
Those who lost elections find themselves in government, achieving very bad results.
Macron.
We want Italy to return to being that great nation, dynamic and innovative, esteemed all over the world, that strongly contributed to European civilization. We are ready to launch a new season of stability, freedom, and prosperity for Italy, whether the left likes it or not.
Bam. I don't know who made that. You can look up that logo, but these are videos I found on Twitter. Full disclosure, I probably shared them on there. So, yeah, I mean, there's some hope for Europe, but as long, I feel, as there's an EU and a NATO, there is no hope. There is no hope. And I always refer back to 1984, the book written in 1949 called 1984. And it always says how they always going to be at war with one or the other. There's going to be two foes. I forgot the damn quote. I was reading it again, but it's either the West is always at war with the East, but there's two Easts. And it translates to real life, China or Russia. Our government, our politics are always going to have us at foe with one or the other, and Trump kind of doesn't play that game, and he'll call it out like he sees it. And I think that's the biggest threat to the establishment, the war machine, the insider trading, the whole offshore accounts like Ukraine was. You got what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't even know what I was saying. I don't know where our other ad was, but we're gonna go to a break real quick, and we'll be right back. And we'll talk about some more local stuff. I think more up your interest lane there, Leo.
All
right.
Welcome to the Patriots Prayer Network. Here, we don't just play to your feelings. We're rooted in honesty, and our foundation is based on Christian values, conservative beliefs, and a no-holds-barred approach. So, If your feelings clash with reality, it's not reality that needs adjusting. Are you ready to be part of a movement that challenges the official narratives, confronts the overwhelming tide of misinformation, and calls out wrongdoing wherever we find it? If so, you're in the right place. See, truth is our compass, and God is our only judge. Right and wrong mean more to us here at the Patriots Prayer Network than right and left do, and a complacent blind acceptance of the status quo will not be found here. We do not believe things are this bad in our country merely by accident. So, we investigate and dive deep into each episode and tackle pressing issues head on. Many podcasts claim they're unfiltered, but we mean it here. Go to thepatriotsprayernetwork.com.
From the show for community standards. Here's another one.
Warrior Shield Foundation is here to unite, honor, and provide support for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star family members. The foundation will enable them to find the help they need through direct assistance or by connecting them with our shared vision network. Using data-driven models, we provide solutions that make a long-lasting difference. We, along with our partners, are dedicated to bringing together like-minded groups and individuals who have committed to making a difference in the lives of our hardworking, everyday heroes. We bridge the gap by connecting warriors or their families with the assistance they deserve and require, such as service dogs, wheelchairs, counseling, scholarships, and team building retreats, to name a few. You can help right now to make a difference for those who have helped and protected us all. Warrior Shield Foundation, selflessly doing for those who need it most.
It's a long way to home, but you won't take the hard road all alone. Just look to your left and look to your right. You were born to fight.
Quick though.
Yeah, and welcome back to the Point Podcast 108. It is March 4th. I don't even know. I lose track of the day. It is March 4th.
It's March 4th.
I got a message from Joanne, who's been commenting on our video. Hopefully she found another way to watch, but Facebook had blocked her due to community standards. And I don't know what it could have been. I was looking at her comment, and it might have been this one. Maybe Zuckerberg don't like the "we don't owe Ukraine nothing."
Or maybe that DEI comment.
It could have been the DEI comment. Who
That was
knows?
pretty quick though for Facebook to have something like that to like automatically boom.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe certain words, certain things.
Joanne's back on Rumble. Make sure you're following the Patriot Prayer on Rumble. On you can find us on Spotify, our channels also, and Patriot Prayer, Spotify, Rumble, YouTube, X. But make sure you follow us on X and on Rumble.
Hey, where there's a will, there's a way.
Well, yeah. Joanne said, yeah. Now that Facebook blocked me, I'm here on Rumble.
Well, I don't think she'll have that problem with Rumble.
About Warrior Shield. Warrior Weekend is coming up. Make sure you check out warriorshield.org. We're trying to help these guys fill up the venue. I think for the concert is the big push. There's a gala the next night, I believe. It's a whole weekend of thing, but the concert, there's Bo from runner up to, I think, Carrie Underwood on American Idol, and a couple other great performers from here in Florida. It's going to be in Orlando. So if you're watching local in any River County, make sure you go check it out. I think the concert's only $50, and it's a great cause to support. Warrior Shield Foundation, what they do is they help raise money and fundraise for other nonprofits who give back to just veterans or first responders, victims of like tragedy. And there's a certain criteria that these nonprofits have to meet. It's just no nonprofit or charity off the street. They have a certain criteria, and they have to have veterans at their utmost priority. So check out warriorshield.org. Warrior Shield Weekend's coming up in September. We're hoping to be there for at least a concert, and we're supposed to do a podcast from there. We're trying to figure out, I'm waiting on details, which night we're doing a podcast. So Dale or Jim, if you're listening, now's a good time. We can let these folks know what night we'll be podcasting. If anything, we'll be joining from home or from Orlando because we're right down the road. So definitely check out warriorshield.org. Thank you, Truthful Troll. So, I mean, the elephant in the room. And I'm not talking about the local jackass on county commission. I'm talking about the other elephant in the room. The Epstein files release, the big reveal, right? Did you guys catch any of that?
Very little. I mean,
they
look at these clowns.
Yeah.
I
I've
follow
seen that picture.
probably all of them on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I just like, there's Chad Prather. I can't remember this girl's name. That's the gay dude that got a lot of people to vote Republican. I think this is DC Drano. This guy, they're all great people. Don't get me wrong. I can't think of all their names, but I just think this is crazy. They were all summoned to the White House for this binder, and there's nothing in it. Maybe they didn't know that at the time, but I think it was a horrible
Who didn't know this at
charade.
the time?
Well, Pam Bondi had gone on and said
Right.
these files are at her office.
Uh-huh.
They're on her desk. She's to review them, and she's going to release everything she's got,
Right.
at a certain time. And she did. And this is all she got. Now, grant you, I think this is good. The public knows that she got screwed. Pam Bondi didn't get all the files.
Right.
She didn't get all the files when she was supposed to. But they still did this. And if you ask me, this is a moment of failure and a moment of embarrassment. Like, I want to know what Chad Prather is thinking right there. And I can't think of this guy's name, but he's not holding up the binder. He's like, this is bullshit too. But these other guys,
look at his hat.
this is Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he has underneath the binder.
Yeah, they all got MAGA hats. They all got Make America Great hats too. But I don't know what the purpose in this was.
Yeah.
I mean, no, there was
binders were
nothing
empty?
new in there. And she had to know this when the binders were put together to give to these influencers. And these are all influencers with 1 million followers or more. And
These people are here?
Yep. And it's to
all these people-
symbolize.
So here, let's break it down to these people because I'm not understanding what's going on here.
All right.
So these people were asked to come to the White House, right?
Supposedly
Yes.
thinking they're going to get the files, the list.
They thought they were going to get the files of what?
Epstein.
The file
Epstein's-
dump, because Trump said the files will be released. He ordered Bondi to get the files, review them, and release them. So as soon as she got whatever she got, she reviewed them and they released them. Now there's speculation that some extra things were redacted that weren't redacted originally,
Right.
so it was kind of odd. But Scott Pressler, thank you. I mean, he's a great patriot. Don't get me wrong. But I hate to be descriptive, but Scott Pressler's his
So
name.
then
Yeah.
they got to the White House and they gave these
Yeah.
people these binders.
Yep. And because Pam, this is to symbolize the new age,
Right.
because we are the media.
Right.
Influencers on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook,
Right.
they're the media now, and it's not your mainstream media anymore.
Right.
He
they gave
did.
him
He
the
did.
files.
Scott Pressler, by the way, won Pennsylvania for Trump. He got the vote out, and that was his big deal. Was getting people registered to vote, and it's kind of like a given. Whoever gets you to vote, pretty much, they're voting for who you're working for.
Right. So there's nothing inside these binders.
Nothing new. We already knew everything that was in there. Nothing new. So Pam Bondi, of course, embarrassed and pissed off. Still, I don't understand the purpose in this. Demanded all of the files be to her office by Friday, I think it was, and or Sunday. I forget. I don't know the timeline, but she did. Now the files are supposedly there. Supposedly a whole truckload of files were taken from the SDNY office,
Right.
in Southern New York, the District of Southern New York, which it was headed by a deep state character who was publicly out to say we're going to dig in against this president, and work. He wasn't working for America.
The only thing I can think of, the reason why she would do that is just to point out that she got screwed, that she didn't get what she was supposed to get when she was supposed to, just to bring attention to it.
I would have done it different. I would have had a press conference, maybe with those influencers behind me. And after a 20-minute meeting of telling them, look, this is all we got.
Got nothing.
And I'm pissed. So let's go out there and let's go show them this is what we got. And this is a failure. I feel like this is a failure. If there's something I'm not seeing here, please,
no, I agree.
Freaking put it on there.
To me, an image of them holding up the binder should be celebration that there's shit in here that we look, this is what we got. Not we got nothing. I agree. I kind of think it would have been more better, like you said, with some sort of press conference with all of them supporting her.
But this could be part of the plan. I don't know. But they were referring to this as phase 1.
Right.
So that was to, you can take that as a suggestion that they already knew there was going to have to be another go around. Maybe this was another thing put out there for the public to see.
Yeah.
That there is people in the system fighting against this president, because ultimately that's what it is. Well, the guy in charge of the SDNY field office, I believe, was forced to resign on Friday. Dehaney was his name. And he came out publicly and said he was forced to resign. And he was on the record saying he was going to dig in and actively resist this president, along with yeah, you're right. Phase 1 did smell like shit, and it didn't feel right anyways. And I don't think we're even going to get anything. I'd be surprised if we get some new names, or some people like shock and awe's. Like, I want to know. People are like, oh, Trump's on there. I don't believe so. And if he is, I want to know that too. Obviously, I want to know that because it put my full faith behind him, and because I believe he was the better person for the job. So I want to know, if I was wrong.
Yeah.
What can we see? I can't see that. What we can see is who the new grassroots influencers that are recognized by the White House. Yeah, it's a symbolism of what's the new technology age. Damn, Leo, it looks like you needed some caffeine.
Yeah, I did need some caffeine, man. I've been on the go, literally. Tuesdays is my go.
Like you were saying, YouTube podcasters, that's where millions and millions of people are tuning in to get their news and their information. So
hey, I didn't get my binder.
I mean, I can't remember other than just every now and then just looking at it just to listen to the bullshit because it's all lies.
Yeah.
I can't even really remember the last time I sat down to watch a regular news station more than like a minute or two because it just bullshit.
I have been watching CNN for quite some time now.
You have
CNN?
Yeah.
You have been?
Yeah.
What are you learning?
Nothing.
That the
it's
news
just
is
in the back.
fake.
It's just in the back of like
I
background.
mean, both sides have fake news. I mean, there's no denying that, but it's clearly been one-sided for a while.
But news is so fake though. Like it's just like it tells you totally the opposite, like of what somebody's doing, and then the other news is telling you also the totally opposite about the other person. So it's like
they're both accusing the other side of doing the same thing.
Right.
They're
That's
both
why
just
those people don't get a binder. That's why they call the influencers. That's why they call
That's
the
why a lot of
TikTokers.
them
That's why
are
they
getting
call the people.
Well,
fired and stepping down.
Our colleague at Indian River Connections got a binder. Yeah. Let's hold on. Infamous binders we've seen in the media. What was it, yesterday or today? That Pam Bondi released to media influencers.
I got mine.
You got a Is that your reading?
Yeah.
She sent that to you? Is that her handwriting?
Yeah. There's nothing in it though. It's all empty. So
I thought it would be black lines of Sharpie.
All empty.
Yeah, with John Karapi.
TGI.
Leave it to John. Get the folder from Pam Bondi.
Yeah, true that, Leo and Vince. Oh, what about me? What did I not? Did we disagree on something?
Probably.
I doubt it. But anyways, one of our topics was where corruption starts, and I believe everything starts local.
Oh,
your school
for
board,
sure.
everything like down here we have mosquito district, hospital district, these positions you vote for, nobody really pays attention
That made
to.
me think, when's the last time you've seen a mosquito truck? Because I know we're paying for it.
Out here, Vince, if one goes by, I wouldn't couldn't be able to tell you.
I haven't
But
seen
I
one in
could,
years.
I could request them to drive through my property as long as they don't have to do any, as long as they can do a full turnaround and come back without having to stop and reverse.
Well, I just
They'll
did
drive through my property. I got to leave the
I
gate
just
open.
did it
and
with
all
a
that.
trailer behind the truck, so I know they can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's enough room.
You didn't speak, so I said their name. Oh, okay, I don't know. I'm confused, but we saw a little bit of that at one of our local city council meetings where I don't want to play the video because it's too long and it's a local. I don't want to bore you, but they talked about committees and special interest and donations, and it's just weird how things work. A lot of people don't understand it. It kind of ties into what we do on the board report with Indian River Connections, and exposing just the way some of this stuff works over. They fly over now. Yeah. And what we saw was somebody that was appointed to a committee for children's services was also making donations to something that benefited it, and it was just a big debacle. And the sense of arrogance I saw on the city or county commission meeting, it was horrible. And the worst part about it is there was like nobody in the audience, nobody, and they were recognizing this guy for making his $3,000 donation, who's known for being a player in opposition politics in the county. It was just weird. There's different relationships and allegations, and it's real mess. There's video out there on my Twitter if you want to check it out. But it's and it's Red County, Florida. You wouldn't think there was this kind of stuff going on, but there's a lot of inner party and inner politics that's not pretty once you learn it. It's kind of like,
it's funny.
Joanne's had been on the inside of some of that, having run for county commission in Indian River County. Everybody's at work when they have the meetings.
Right.
John Karabi was at the meeting today. We did an episode on the board report with a big push to stop fluoride, get our county to stop the fluoride and educate more people on where this fluoride comes from, which, by the way, it's not out of the earth. It's not good for you. It's actually the waste from smokestacks from phosphorus plants, fertilizer plants, these big smokestacks. They have to clean them or otherwise they'll catch on fire. But it's this chemical that kind of replicates fluoride, and it's not good for you. But they convince these municipalities that they need to add it to the water because it's good for your teeth and your
funny.
But actually, I saw a video clip on Twitter today that there's stuff in fluoride that eat at the enzymes that help strengthen your bones, your skull, memory.
What?
Yeah, your gums. It actually separates your gums from your teeth to where it's kind of like keeps the dental. It to me it sounds like big pharma conspiracy, but I wouldn't doubt it. It keeps the dentists in business.
Yeah, for sure.
And the guy said you can actually rebuild the enamel by taking calcium and phosphorus.
Really?
I think it was phosphorus, but in a supplemental form, not in a byproduct,
tablet.
not in a fertilizer byproduct form.
It's funny how you talk about how dirty politics is even down in the small politics, down into your cities and towns. I mean, it even goes deeper than that. Like, I see dirty politics in our HOAs. Like, I live in an HOA.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So they pass these new rule changes or how money's being spent. In the rules of the HOA, it takes at least 50% of the people to turn up for the meeting and to vote. They've never once received the HOA. I mean, they never will ever get 50% of the people to show up for a meeting.
And
so how does anything ever get changed by breaking those rules? It's dirty politics.
That's how it was. And there's different governments. There's weird different governing bodies. Like in Miko, I lived in a place called Barefoot Bay, and it had a recreation district. And you voted on trustees, kind of like board of directors or something like that. And they made the things. And the same thing. To change the deed of restrictions, you needed a certain amount of in-person votes. In a place like that, where 65% of it was snowbirds, and you were never ever going to get the votes. And this was kind of put in place by the company who developed the area and kind of formed this little recreation district, is what it was called,
Mm.
and kind of handed it off, you know.
Right.
So it's another taxing district, just like what we cover on the board report: hospital district, mosquito district, inlet district. You got city councils left and right, county commissioner, you know, there's it's ridiculous. You know, you don't even know how many taxing districts you're subject to.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways,
That's crazy.
it's been another wonderful episode. Yeah, I don't know where you are, truthful, but ask yourself, do you know how many taxing districts you live in? Maybe Joanne knows. I think I asked this on last week's board report show of our panel. Like, I don't think anybody can give me a precise answer. Oklahoma. How is Oklahoma? Is there a state income tax in Oklahoma? Thankfully, I don't think we'll ever see it in Florida unless the wrong guy gets elected, which Byron Donalds is running.
Just like Joanne just kind of said, pretty much, you know, most people are comfortable, and pretty much until somebody smacks you in the face with something that affects you,
yeah,
you're just not paying attention.
Well, and that's part of,
you don't know what's going on.
And that's part of that inner politics and the inner corruption, because they want tax dollars to fund these services, and there's not real accountability for it. And the people kind of involved are also buddies and campaign managers during election seasons. And, you know, I think it's real
family members helping out family members, friends helping friends.
I'm tax exempt. Okay. Well, cool. That's, I think we all are tax exempt. Just how do you break away from that?
Who's Truthful Troll? Is he a former president?
We don't have many, around 5. Disabled vet. Okay. Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
I was wondering if you were tribal or native, but that makes more sense. But yeah, episode 108, To the Point podcast with Mike, Leo, and Vince. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your comments. Make sure you check us out next Tuesday at 8:00. Tonight is the President's State of the Union.
Yep.
I might jump on with TGI Now or Binford Chronicle. I don't know. I think it's going to be a short night, but I'm going to be watching. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you follow Patriot Prayer at thepatriotprayer.com and everywhere on X and Rumble, Facebook, tothepoint.com on X, and anyriverconnections.com. All those socials. We're out there. 9 p.m. Yeah, so it starts at 9 p.m. The president should be coming out in about a minute. Do you think he'll be late? I don't know.
Well, at 9? Right at 9? No, they're never on time.
We're talking about Trump.
I don't know. I'm sure it'll at least be a few minutes after 9.
Well, let's get out of here. Make sure you check out shopwithamerica.us, warriorshield.org, and IndianRiverConnections.com. Thanks again for tuning in, guys, and we hope you are around next week for episode 109.
Yep.
109. As long as we're here and we can be here, we'll be here.
Say the break to shout, make America great, tell them what it's about. Facts over feelings, cutting through the noise, fighting woke mobs and the kids with toys. They spew their lies, they spreading hate. Let's BS ain't gonna seal our fate. No nonsense here, just straight to the point. Truce to ammo in this battleground joint. Make America great again, stand and fight. Facts over feelings, day and night. Fight the woke mob, cancel their crime. Truth on the mic while they keep lying. They wanna cancel, they wanna control, but we got the truth, we breaking the mold. Speak your mind, don't let them bind. Words cut through, sharper than a sword of kind. Senses just raw, no filter to stop. Voices rise up from the bottom to top. Feelings don't matter when the truth's